may in part be embedded into your business. If it isn't, it should be. Pamela, as we always do for consistency, good morning, number one. Number two, can you share just this past couple of weeks, because we do this every other week now, a success story and a challenge in real estate, specifically through video, that you have come up with or come through in the last couple of weeks?
Oh my goodness. Success stories. There's always a success story with videos, getting yourself out there, getting noticed, getting those genuine clients. They get to know you, like you, and trust you, right? But as far as videos and challenges, I think a lot of realtors, the challenge they have is being able to do videos, putting that camera up to your face, or maybe walking around and not caring about what it looks like, what it sounds like, and just putting as much content as you possibly can out there. And that's our biggest challenge, is we're our own worst critique, right? We're always criticizing. I was saying to Barry this morning, oh my goodness, I still can't stand my voice. It's like, as long as you've been doing it, your voice is the same. It's always going to be the same. Just concentrate on who your video is going to help. And that's the biggest key with doing videos, is taking the attention off yourself, what you look like, what you sound like, and putting content out there.
I want to challenge that theory, because you're absolutely right. But at the other end of it, you should actually be putting more emphasis on yourself, knowing regardless of what we look like, or if we've got sunglasses on our head, or what we sound like, your skill set, your desire, and your passion to help other people should be at the forefront, right? So although we're going through the aesthetics of the social media world, I'm amazing and all that mumbo jumbo, the true core of what is important, and that is you. So there's a fine line between the two. Is that fair?
That's fair. That's fair. I agree with you. I try to take that emphasis off myself when you say that, because yeah, but you're absolutely right.
Well, let me ask you then, have you had and I'm going to share a success story. Again, I ask this every single time and I never even put any thought into it. So as you're speaking, I'm trying to figure out my own answer. But do you have any particular challenges that you've experienced through video, or any of your clients through video, the last couple of weeks too?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with videos is making sure. I have one client that I'm currently working with right now, and she is very critical of herself as far as doing videos. And I think what I keep telling her is just not worry about the lighting. She's worried about the lighting, and the lighting is important. It is very important, because you want to make sure you have the lighting in front of you and not behind you, because then you look dark, right? And then being able to actually just not be critical of yourself, like you were saying earlier, Barry, just putting it out there and putting the content out there and making known that yeah, yes, you are important,
Yeah.
because you're doing, what you need to do, and stepping up and doing what it takes to get yourself out there.
Thank you. No, thank you for sharing. I think everything you've said, nail on the head, really is important, and different people with different journeys. And I'll say this every single time, but don't compare your day one to someone's year 10. It's so easily done, because everybody's amazing, but they've also had 5,050 takes of this before you have, Neil, looking at you specifically. So it's always very difficult, because we are self-critical, but just remember that, right? We're on our own journey, our own path. It's got to start somewhere. It doesn't matter how old you are, how experienced you are, it's got to start somewhere. The success for me this week, finally, I've been to about 14 different coffee shops around the world. About a year ago, I did a little series for social media called Coffee Chat, and I'm redoing it again in 2024. And I've been to England, Scotland, Vegas, Kentucky, North Carolina, and I finally did a preview yesterday. Little cut for all of them, and I'm going to put it out this morning. So I finally did it. It's been on my to-do list forever, and I've finally done it. I'm excited. Challenge is consistency in content, specifically video and social media. The busier you get, the more successful you get. This is my excuse, that you don't remember the reason, what you need to do by adding value, adding content, and video really is the premier vehicle to do that. And you just kind of get slack because you're busy with meetings. And, the reason that you get your business, you forget to do because you're busy. So for me, it's the biggest challenge always, and that continues to do that. But anyway, let's get to YouTube specifically. And the reason I would like to, Pam, I would like to ask your thought process on its value, on its importance, and everything with it. But first of all, as someone who has a YouTube channel, and I noted it earlier, of over 2,500 subscribers, 348 videos, aka 2 videos away from a milestone, which you'll finish this week, I have no doubt. What was it for you? And I understand the emphasis that YouTube is owned by Alpha or whoever owns Google, so everybody goes to YouTube. If I need to fix a drain, I'll go to YouTube. If I need to do anything, YouTube is my go-to to learn as well, which is part of what I'll speak about. But for you, what was the emphasis on YouTube for you and your business in real estate, and what results have you seen because of it?
YouTube is, like you were saying earlier, it's a #2 search engine out there, or owned by the #1 search engine out there, Google, right? And everyone, actually, I should say, they go on Google. If you're looking to do something or fix something or learn something, you go to YouTube and you type in the subject, and it's no different with us as realtors, right? Is like, buyers are on there, probably typing in what are my first steps if I'm thinking about buying a home, you know what are my steps if I'm thinking about selling a home, and then you pop up in their search engine basically when you put in the keywords and things like that. I started my YouTube channel, live YouTube, years ago, interviewing title companies and lenders, anything and everything to do with real estate, home inspectors, and just putting it out there so people can see what a home inspector does, what a lender does, what a title company, what's expected of a title company, and just putting that information out there. And it has been very successful because I've been getting a lot of, I get inquiries. People are, they comment great information, because you're putting yourself out there and giving out content again and giving them the process, the home buying process. A lot of people don't know the home buying process. What's going on with real estate. People always want to know what's going on with real estate. Or the interest rates. Just do a quick video and do a short and put it out there. This is today's interest rate. This is a monthly payment for this purchase price, or whatever. Just putting, valuable information out there. So if a buyer's out there looking, they can actually, your video will pop up.
I think that's important. I put basically here just 4 very quick topics for what I see the value is in YouTube, right? And this is just, I'm removing, I see myself here on the app, so I don't like seeing myself as I'm speaking. So I'm just putting a sticky note over the video in case we have any comments come through, because we want to answer any questions, and we'll be very open with a Q&A in a little bit as well. But for me, #1 is research and learn. Like you were saying, like I was saying, if YouTube is a source of going to for anything in life, let's be honest, why would we not also use that? And I will, and I do, and others do, go to that for educating yourself on where you live, on the local market. Where's the coffee shop? What's going on here? What's this bypass or interstate that's coming up here? What is going on with all the construction down the street? On a hyper local level. Doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. I think the value behind being that digital mayor, as some call it, being the go-to, and social media is such a great way to go, but when you put a whole portfolio there, it's basically building up. When you're successful in real estate and you've sold 200 homes, every single home what you sold is emotion attached to it, and thankfully in our space a commission check that comes with it, but it's also your very portfolio. So if you do that from a real estate perspective, you should absolutely do that from a video perspective. So I think researching and learning, watching what other successful agents and people in this space and entrepreneurs and business owners do too. I've got a list of about 4 people that I'll share later who I'd highly recommend you look at the content they do and learn a little about how they do it. And there are always some inspiration and motivation that can come from watching others to learn and take yourself. So I think that's important. #2 is producing content, which is exactly that. What content are you going to produce? And Pamela, I'll share mine. I'm new to my YouTube channel journey, but I'd love to see yours as well if you want to share your screen in a little bit, and we can kind of see that content you've done, because all of that content is part of that portfolio, which leads us to #3, which is leverage it for your business, whatever that looks like. If you want to get more business locally, educate people on what's happening local. If you want to expand your horizon, there's always a specific strategic strategy you can use, and YouTube fundamentally comes into that at the top of the list for me. But then the last thing is to build that portfolio as well. Like I'm saying, it's all kind of the ecosystem in between. Every video you do, and then go back and compare your first ever video to your 20th video, to your 70th video, to your 100th video. You will see that progression over time, as long as I said at the very beginning, you don't compare your video 1 to my video 800 because it's so easy to do. But if you have a plan, and that's something that I would love us to work on in the next couple of sessions as well, to have, you know, we have blueprints for various bits and pieces of our business. And I think the video content, if you remember from the first ever call we had, I put an article, and I have to go back to that, of 300 pieces of content any real estate agent can do for their YouTube channel or for video. I mean, there are ideas there which will last the test of time and will absolutely build you as the authority figure locally, which for me is what this is all about. Pamela, do you want to share, are you able to share your YouTube channel? Because when you're talking about, you know, 4 figures worth of followers and almost 350 videos, you've been doing this a while, and clearly you're doing something right. So I'd love to get a practical example of what that looks like for you and how you're using that in your real estate business as well, but just to get an idea of what things look like and the layout and the flow of everything you've put together. Thank you.
Okay, let's do this. Hold on a second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can. You have a
Yes.
lot of files on your desktop.
Right. That's an understatement
Guilty.
right now, because it's usually way more than that. But okay, let's see here. Dream Real Estate TV is my YouTube channel. And let's see. My basic thing about doing videos, and I've actually recently started doing more of myself, just myself, but my big thing is really interviewing other agents, other entrepreneurs, people, you know, that's out there. This is one video that I did. This is probably back in, let me see, when was this? 4 years ago in Virginia. And we've got 9.2K viewers on it,
And as you
right?
walk through, you'll find a lot of high-end features that we felt this house really deserved.
And this was with the builder. I interviewed a builder and walked through his property with him.
You were awarded the Best in Show.
Oh wow, nice.
These were the best of all the homes.
Of all the
So
homes?
that was a nice accolade for us. So we're getting tremendous comments, great comments on the house. We're very excited about it. And as you walk through, if I can point out features that you think you might want to see, I can explain why we did and what we did.
Absolutely.
And not too much of what we did is actually walk through one of his model homes, showing the features of the model home. And this is just one of the videos that I actually did on here. We've got some comments going on. It's McLean, Virginia, which is a great area. Let's see what else we have going on here. This is
Hi,
my...
I'm Pamela DuBois with Dream Real Estate TV.
Hey, let me ask you a question about that as well. Something I've seen is that a lot of successful YouTube channels, and I don't want to overwhelm you, I'm just speaking high level. When you come on, like you come onto yours here, automatically, and you've set up an introduction to your YouTube channel. Is that what's playing right now, where you come onto the channel?
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
I actually did a video.
Downloading my free guide to video marketing for real estate.
Yeah, it's I also have a free guide to video marketing. So if there's anyone out there that's looking for, you know, a guide to doing videos and why videos and content creation, all that kind of
And one
thing.
observation in your popular videos I see, you've also created a specific thumbnail for that particular topic. Are you doing every time for every video you do now as well?
I don't. And so here's total transparency, you guys, because I've got how many videos did you say on here? 300 videos plus or whatever, right? So in the past,
348.
I've actually gone through, and a lot of these will have thumbnails, and you'll see there's some that actually don't have thumbnails on there, right? So I'm not consistent with the thumbnails. The thumbnails are very important. So just remember as you're going through it, you know, don't beat yourself up, in other words, for not having it. You can always go back and add the thumbnails on there. Some of these, let's see here, I'll show you. These all have thumbnails. During COVID, I reached out to realtors all over the world. This is a realtor I actually talked to from Australia, talking about what's going on with real estate in Australia back then, Italy, South Carolina, you know, so I just reached out to people COVID because we couldn't actually do anything locally. And this one here is what before COVID that we actually did a walk around, still wearing the mask back in doing COVID. Walking around the area, his area expertise, what he actually wants to get out there to his people. So we branded this video with his information as we interviewed him, and he talked about the area, what's important in the area, you know, the shops, the restaurants, and things like that, while we were on the trolley. So it's, yeah, I mean, there's just different various types of interviews that we actually did through.
I love it. Let me just ask, does anybody have any questions at the moment? I have a couple which I'll get to a little later, but I'm curious if anyone has any questions.
I recently, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So the only thing, I've got a YouTube channel now that I've started using some of the developers' videos on as well because it's useful for me. But how do you brand your YouTube channel so that it's out there? You've got a specific, I mean, I've got mine under Properties Spain by EXP. Would you keep it like that, or would you give it a more specific title?
Can I ask one further question before I then ask Pamela for her answer? What is your ultimate goal with your YouTube channel?
Well, because I've listened to you to get myself known more. Area's a little bit difficult because I cover such a big area. So it's more to create the persona that someone will come to me who's looking to buy in the Costa Blanca, for instance, and needs information and what I class as a one-stop shop. So has it changed since Brexit? If I was coming from this country, what do I need? And to make sure that people understand the process, and also to give them a little glimpse of the different areas of the Costa Blanca so that people are more aware of what's going on.
What you got? What do you think, Pamela?
You know, he's got Properties Spain, right? And as EXP agents and realtors, we are actually able to help anyone anywhere in the world. So if you've got Properties Spain, you can actually help anyone that's moving in Spain, moving to Spain from anywhere in the world, correct?
Yes.
Right. So I think the name is great. I think, you know, basically, you know, your Properties Spain, real estate Spain, you know, anything when you do your keywords, you know, put in real estate in there. So you actually, if someone's searching Properties Spain, the keyword real estate is also included when you're posting your videos. So the more you actually focus on when you're putting your videos out there with the keywords. So in YouTube it's called keywords and not hashtags. So if you put the keywords, you can also put the hashtags in the title, which is familiar to all the other platforms. But then there's that space where you go down and put the keywords in it. You know, are you looking for a home in Spain, or maybe doing a specific area in Spain, depending on where that video is actually from in Spain. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, Pamela, am I able to share my screen? Because you're way down in a very great way, the YouTube channel journey, right? And
there you go.
Yeah, thank you. I'm the other end of it. So Neil, what I do is a little different, as you know, but let me just show you mine. Not as professional, not as good. And then
You're
I'll
so humble.
Well, honest as well, but I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. And then I'll also show you kind of my goal and logic behind it. And I think you can take some from it. So I've had a YouTube channel probably for a long old time. I've not really done anything with it. Last week, I just updated this here, right? Which shows me, who I am, and ideally the fundamentals of what I'm trying to use this YouTube channel for. The videos I have, which are all I have thumbnails for all of them. I have introduction, a little thing I did from like a Fiverr very quickly. So these sessions here, for example, I'm going to upload every single one on here. And everything is, I'm trying to make tailor-made and branded, right, in a specific way, which is great. And the way to do that, which I think you'll get from here. So the video series has a particular topic here. The mentor sessions, which is a review of every single week I have a coffee meeting here locally. All of those sessions are here. I used to do an interview series with fellow agents and partners here and here. But for you in your case, property videos is going to be huge. So I don't need the video, but for every property I do, which I know you're starting to do now as well, I do a video walkthrough of the area, and I have it very tailor-made. So you can do, well, I have no idea what the heck this is, but you get the concept. Everything is kind of branded specifically. And to go one step further, I'm not sure, I may have to stop sharing to share again. You don't have to spend a penny to do these thumbnails and the branding expedition, right? Everything I do, I was actually doing one before this call, saying about that coffee chat series. So it looks crap, but ignore me on there. But everything I do is through Canva. You know, I'll be very transparent and show you, I have all sorts of projects here, so it's going to be overwhelming. But just to give you an example, this is what I'm doing now. This is one thumbnail I did here. This is another one I did here. One of my favorite videos, as my own worst critic, was here when I literally just recorded a day in the life. And this was the thumbnail for that YouTube video. Everything doesn't have to cost you anything. Canva, Canva, you get everything. And you can literally just start, you know, real estate, YouTube, thumbnail, for example, and it will give you, now I have the paid version, which is US dollars, about $125 a year. So these ones with Pro, I get, but otherwise you get all of these here, which will give you a free thumbnail for whatever you want to use. And you can use that, and that's not maybe the best for YouTube, but you get what I mean, without having to put a ton of time into it. The most important content on video is you. Like, I've seen you starting to do your video, and we're going to speak in more detail in the upcoming weeks. You know, you've done like the, hey, this is the beach in the area I am, like a 15-minute video. You can repurpose that in a shorter form as well, where you can have snippets which you can directly put on your social media, as long as in the back end everything's coming onto your YouTube channel. So that's me kind of going down a rabbit hole. But does that explain or help any more when it comes to a branding and purposing with the specific use of YouTube?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good.
One of the other things that I wanted to mention is going back also, like if you're looking for a topic to put for your video, is going back into YouTube and doing searches for topics around what you're actually putting out there, and seeing how many people have actually liked that person's video, and coming up with something similar. You may be changing a couple of the words in the actual topic, so when people search, they can actually, you know, yours will also come up. So you've got this person that's got, you know, 10 million views or whatever, and their topic is close to what you're currently doing. So you change a few of the words in it, and you make the topic almost similar to theirs. So when theirs come up, yours also comes up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes great sense.
Kind of piggybacking on someone else's success and content. I've never thought of it like that. Very interesting. Well, let me ask you, Pamela, because I've written down 4, one of which I'd never even heard of until I did some research and was just looking here. Do you have any recommendations of specific people, ideally in property, real estate, estate agency, or loosely connected? Any particular YouTube channels that you just put out there for people who should maybe look at to get content ideas, or just to have an understanding of being successful in this space in our industry? Any recommendations? Of course, apart from yours and mine.
Right. One of the person that I actually, and I don't know if you guys know Evan Carmichael, I am actually one of his, like he coaches us on videos as far as putting content out there. So if you look him up, he actually is very successful on YouTube. He interviews a lot of famous people on there, and so you know, he tells us what to do and what not to do. So I definitely take his advice on the videos when I'm doing the videos, and that one of the tip that I gave earlier about actually pulling up other people's videos and content out there, and how much they actually are noticed, you know, if it's 1 million views or whatever, and taking their subject and using it for your own was one of his tips.
Nice
To
one.
use out there, you know. And I think the big thing, you guys, is just like when you're going through this, because as realtors, there are, you know, there's so much that we have to do, right? And if we're not like writing it down and making it part of our daily or weekly activity, then it gets lost. And there goes the consistency. And the biggest thing, and I'm a big culprit of this, is consistency. It's like, you got to do them. You got to do them. You got to keep doing them, you know, over and over. And it can be overwhelming, but if you can fit it in, make sure it happens, you know, at least once a week. Okay, this is my video time. Block out the time. I'm going to record videos. You're out and about. Yesterday, I was out and about in Washington, D.C. For for different reasons. And I was able to actually do a quick video of the Watergate Hotel in DC. And I don't know if you guys know of the famous Watergate Hotel in Washington, DC. And I just posted it this morning. But that was all I was able to do yesterday. It's not me, you know, standing in front. I was just driving by. There's the Watergate Hotel. I just did a quick video of it and I posted it, you know, and
It's
it's a short reel.
It's multi-purposing time, which I think is important. If you're going to dedicate your time to something in life and you can multi-use it for different areas that are going to benefit, I think that's huge and good for you. Carol, do you quickly want to chime in? I think you said one recommendation you have is Ricky Carruth, who I know is now with EXP, and I believe he has the Zero to Diamond program. Do you want to kind of explain a little about why you think his YouTube channel is particularly beneficial?
Yeah, Ricky Cruz, he has a really amazing YouTube channel. I mean, because that's what his, like, I actually met him on Instagram before I even knew he was an EXP realtor. So then kind of chatting with him, I have been to an event of his previously in the past. Anyways, his YouTube channel is just, and he'll tell all the agents, go on my YouTube channel, mimic what I'm doing, like with your face, exactly how he's doing with the words that pop up and how they pop up. And CapCut is actually really good when it comes to those words that he uses that pop up when he speaks about things. So CapCut's a really good one. It's free. If you don't want the CapCut logo, you have to pay the premium. I think it's only a couple bucks a month. But anyways, his YouTube channel is just very informative. He speaks about everything from the market, but mostly, like Barry was saying, it's more so for helping agents with cold calling, helping agents with yeah, I mean, everything, scripts, whatever it can be. But I mean, I feel like that's what his focus is on. But at the same time, he does a lot of market updates. He does a lot of information for more people than agents. He does a lot of information for buyers, sellers, all kinds. So just check it out, Ricky Cruz.
And he's a good guy too, and thank you for that. He's super. Again, you don't necessarily need one to be the other, but when you have the validity of him of being super successful selling agent, I think that really speaks volumes. So thank you as well. And I think he may be here in the EXP Family Tree group, which we're live streaming this in too. Really great shout and recommendation. Thank you. A couple more as well. I would say one of my favorites, and I am very biased, but check out Ben Moore. His handle, which makes me feel a lot younger than I am by saying it on YouTube, is What Ben Says. When it comes to, and he does a variety of property videos, but when it comes to property tours as a listing agent, a lifestyle videos, I call them, second to none. And I've seen many from around the world. Absolutely fantastic. I've got a couple of others here, but one I recommend as well, just thinking outside the box, because mainly we're going to be US people watching this. So I like thinking outside the box. Very famous, very successful coach in real estate agency in Australia. Tom Panos interviews some of the top agents in Australia and around the world. I was watching an interview he had with a super successful guy called Lee Woodward earlier today. His handle is Tom Panos Coach. So a couple of recommendations. Very conscious of time too. One thing I will say, because Carol mentioned CapCut, I've been using the same systems forever. A couple of months ago, I've changed that and I use CapCut, the paid version. I also use video.ai. So maybe next week we'll speak specifically about tools and systems, and I'll kind of share everything transparently with you. But Pamela or anybody else, any final thoughts or questions before we call it a day and we hold up our phone and start recording video? We'll think about it.
No, this has been excellent, Barry, and you're a wealth of knowledge always. And then she's got her ring light. Yeah, you are ready, Carol. Carol is ready to go on that.
I love it. Well, listen, this will be, because it's live streamed, it will be in the workplace group, EXP Family Tree. And we're very easy to find on workplace. We're very easy to find on LinkedIn and social media. YouTube, we have channels as well. But thank you guys for being here live. And of course, thank you for everybody who's watching live streamed as well. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We may be changing the time, but we'll speak about it. But we'll talk about tools and systems and up and running. So everybody who's watching this, let's look to record a video or do something in video today. Share it with everybody here, and we'll give you some social media love and everything else as well. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.